Shameless.
United in the Europa League. Europa League. Let me tell them
Man
one
United
time.
2,
I'ma say Europa
PAOK
League.
0, I have to say. We wasn't very good. First half, it was really, really bad. There was no quality on the ball. Nobody could find a red shirt. Everybody was quiet. And it was PAOK who had the better chances, really. A couple of shots towards Onana's goal in the first half. It didn't massively trouble him, but put it this way, I couldn't tell which team was the great Manchester United and which team was, the Greek champions coming here. But I could tell the team that basically, a lot of shouting there. I could tell the team that basically hadn't won a game in Europe for a year as well. And that was evidently us. Ahmad was the bright spark of the first half, even though the bar was on the floor. Garnacho, again, criticism from the last game. Who did we play last? I forgot. What was our last win again? Oh my God, my brain's just gone dead. Who did we just play the other day? Wait there. Whoever it was, and we were saying he didn't do well. My brain is fully fried. No, that's really good. I know you lot are going to be in the comments right now going, Chelsea. Bro, it's just like, that's how mundane it was. It just left my head. But against Chelsea, he got heavy criticism for not making the right decisions, not slowing himself down, not executing well enough. And that was the same today, really, especially in the first half. There's people going on the overlap. There was people that were making good runs for him, and he just had to lay it off. He was overhitting passes, shooting into players. If shots were getting blocked, just wasn't making those good decisions. So that kind of continued for him. But Ahmad, in the second half, after Man United went in 0-0, and it was really mundane, Ruud van Nistelrooy must have just said to them, listen, you lot got to raise this. I need way more from you than this. There's not much coming from PAOK, but you're allowing them to be comfortable. Their fans were going crazy over there in the corner. And we were just giving them confidence. But second half came out, we were camped in their half, and it was unlocked from Ahmad. A good ball for the back post from Bruno. And Ahmad, I wasn't sure if he was trying to header it back. I'm not sure if he was trying to header it back across goal or going for the far post. Hopefully we can catch up with him after the game and ask him that. But it's a wicked finish right into the far corner. Head it back where you come from, as you're taught. And the second goal he scores, and actually, before I get to that, after we scored that, we went back into the same habits. There was a chance that PAOK had at 1-0, when we was 1-0, and their striker had it. He was clean through. Nobody else was there. He had both sides to go to against Andre Onana, and he's put it straight at him. And all he had to do with his left foot is pick a corner. Could have even taken an extra touch if he wanted to, and he missed that. That was a let-off. And it was very mundane apart from that. And then Ahmad, again, decided, all right, I've had enough. I'm not playing this ball. I'm not playing what you lot are doing. And he said, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. He nicks the ball off of their centre-half, I think it was, or their left-back. I can't remember which one it was. Powers through, rides the challenge after nicking the ball off him, shifts it onto his left foot and wraps it far corner into the side net. And it was absolutely fantastic from him. Big celebrations. And it just shows, we've been calling for him to get more game time. Even when he doesn't score, he's not always going to put it in a far corner from that position. Of course not. But he just makes Man United play better. Do you know what I mean? I know we had a couple of opportunities earlier on in the season after a really good pre-season, but straight away, Erik ten Hag was taking him out, almost itching to get Garnacho in, itching. And people say, Ahmad needs to add that ruthlessness to his game, that mean streak. He needs to add that extra part to his game whereby he's going at people more, or he's getting more assists, or he's getting more goals, or he's shooting more on sight. But he's such an intelligent player. He keeps the ball well. He's neat. He's tidy. He's deceptively strong. He's very, very quick. And he's all smiles there in my screen. And he deserves it. He deserves that moment because he never kicks up a fuss. He just waits for his time and waits for himself to come back in. And he does it. And he deserves that. So to be honest with you, against Leicester, I mean, Garnacho for the last two games hasn't been good. Marcus Rashford came off the bench as well, went onto the left-hand side. He should have scored towards the end of the game as well. His finishing, his radar was off. He should have scored in the bottom right-hand corner. He didn't. But between him and Garnacho, they both haven't been pulling up trees. So there's a spot there. And it's going to be Van Nistelrooy's last game in charge before he hands over to Ruben in the international break. And you know what? I'd love for him to give it to Ahmad because he deserves it. He deserves that chance. He deserves a chance to say, you know what? I've been patiently waiting. And he's just won us the game. He's just won us our first game in Europe for a year, And you can't say fair enough. I know the opposition is low. There's so much more. I mean, overall, away from Ahmad, it shows how far we've got to come and just how much Ruben Amorim has to do here. He's got a hell of a lot of work to do when he gets here. He's under no illusion how difficult it's going to be. I will also say as well that Mazraoui was solid today as well. He was good. and I liked what he was doing as well. He's been very, very competent, very, very disciplined in what he's been doing. Always making sure he's in the right place at the right time. He takes care of the ball very well. He takes care of his opposite number. He knows where to be. He's just a good, competent player. So that's been working out. I thought Victor Lindelof was good today as well. He and Johnny Evans. You know, anytime Johnny Evans is there, he always does what he needs to do. He was brilliant. And overall, the defence did what they needed to do. It was the attacking players. Midfield was poor. Bruno gave away the ball quite a few times. I have to say Rasmus Højlund massively struggled today. One, from a lack of service, but two, anytime he did get the ball, anytime he did have the chance to take a touch or to bring people into play, he just got dispossessed. He was null and void for large parts of today, along with Garnacho. So there's a lot of players who really need to up their levels. There's a lot of players who we really need to get more out of. There's a lot of players that Ruben Amorim's got to work with and ascertain whether he can work with them to play his style or not. But my man of the match tonight, it has to be Amad. He was just unbelievable. And again, I know people can say it's PAOK at home, but at the end of the day, right, you can only play against who's in front of you. And he was the one who decided he's not going to have his level brought down to here. He's going to play. He's going to play his game. He's going to get on the ball. He's going to make things happen. And in a game like today, actually, when it was quite slow, it was quite mundane, it was quite boring, Man United weren't at it at all, he did it. He did it, and he deserves the praise for that. So I'm going to give him that. And if he's not in that starting lineup, I mean, this isn't it, but imagine it is. Imagine this is, 4:30 or whenever our game is on Sunday, right? And he's not on that. He may as well just, don't not sign a new deal because a new man just comes a bit excessive. But he may as well just turn to Ruud and say, what have I got to do? And like I said, it's Ruud's last game. It don't really matter what he does. Last game in charge. It don't really matter what he does. Just play the guy who's in form. We've got a much better chance of beating Leicester if you put Amad on that right-hand side and say, listen, you just won us our first game in a year. Go off and do it again against Leicester, because that's what he deserves. I know there's no continuity after that, and as soon as the new manager comes in, he could find himself back on the bench again. But also, he might not. He could find. It's also an advert for Ruben Amorim to come in and say, listen, this kid Amad, I like the look of him. Can he be my inside 10? If you're looking for an inside 10 and that right-hand side position, it could be Amad as well. Mason Mount got some 10 minutes today as well. That's positive. So listen, I'm happy. We've won a game for the first time in a year in Europe. Thank you for that, Amad. You are the star boy today. Answer to the right-hand side. Peace.